Abraham Accords. Now, what I don't understand about this is why this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I don't even know when this happened. I do click on mostly left-wing content, but they cover a lot of right-wing content, and all they ever talk about is bigotry, well, the open border, transgenders. It's just nonsense from these people. If this was legitimate, an actual credit to Donald's political or presidency, then a lot of people would be talking about this, so that just doesn't sit right with me. But anyway, so a bilateral agreements on Arab-Israel normalization. Now, what's this? There has been a parallel effort made to find terms upon peace that can be so this is, and also specifically the Israel-Palestinian conflict, have signed peace and normalization treaties beginning with the that's what I don't like about this. Okay. Beginning with the Egypt, despite the failure to implement the... Wait a minute, okay. There has been a parallel effort made to find terms upon which peace can be agreed to, and then... okay, so the whole thing is Arab-Israeli normalization. Can be agreed to in the Arab-Israeli conflict. Now, what is this? It's the phenomenon involving political tension, military conflicts, and other disputes between various Arab countries and Israel, which escalated. So, this whole thing is because of Israel. That doesn't look good. You're trying to say that it's all about oil, which escalated during the 20th century. The roots of conflict has been attributed to support by Arab League member Palestinians, a fellow league member of it is torn. So Zionism, no mention of oil yet. It would be mentioned in this very paragraph if it was. That's what I'm thinking. Part of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict arose from the conflicting claims by these movements that land formed the British. Yeah, there's nothing about oil in this. What else is there? And we all know that this is about Gaza. Self-determination with the territory of the former mandatory Palestine, key aspects of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Border security, water rights. This is all about the Gaza. No mention of oil yet in here. The conflict has its origins in the rise of Zionism in Europe. Zionism, there it is again. Ottoman Palestine. This is all about the Gaza. Zionism. Even if it is about oil, that might be, how do I put this? It's lower on the list. Anyway, okay, so nothing. Over the years, numerous Arab League countries have signed peace and normalization treaties with Israel. Okay, so what's the Arab League? Was formed in Cairo. With 7 members: Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Transjordan, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia. Currently okay, so this is just the League. Draw closer to the relations between member states and coordinate collaboration between them to safeguard and... Yeah, it's all about sovereignty. It has nothing to do with oil. beginning with Egypt. Okay, now what's this? Egypt-Israel peace treaty. Okay, so this Israel is a common denominator here. Does Israel have any oil in its country? Are they a source of oil? Honestly, I don't know, but that doesn't seem to be the fucking goal here. It seems to be all about sovereignty and Zionism. The Egypt-Israel treaty was signed by blah blah blah. The peace treaty between these two was okay, that's the history. The normalization of relations between Israel and Egypt went into effect in January 1980. The ambassadors were changed in February. There's nothing of oil in any of this. Ceasefire and okay, get away from Wikipedia here. The main points of the Abraham Accords. The undersigned recognize the importance of maintaining and strengthening peace in the Middle East and around the world based on mutual understanding and coexistence as well as respect for human dignity. Nothing of oil. Bahrain, Israel, and United Arab Emirates, which are based in Asia. So you're trying to suggest that Israel is putting a dampener on the oil sources and shit? On oil imports? The Abraham Accords. Okay, let's look at that. The Abraham Accords. We encourage efforts to promote interfaith and intercultural dialogue among three Abrahamic religions and all humanity. Okay, Donald Trump. We're gonna get anything here? Okay, this thing is 45 minutes.
Across the entire region, countries, we take a major stride toward a future in which people of all faiths and backgrounds live together in peace and prosperity. In a few moments, these visionary leaders will sign the first two peace deals between Israel and the Arab state in more than a quarter century. In Israel's entire history, there have previously been only two such agreements. Now we have achieved two in a single month, and there are more to follow. Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain will establish embassies, exchange ambassadors, and begin to cooperate and work together so strongly to cooperate as partners across the broad range of sectors, from tourism to trade and healthcare to security. They're going to work together. They are friends. The Abraham Accords also open the door for Muslims around the world to visit historic sites in Israel and to peacefully pray at Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, the third holiest site in Islam. Together, these agreements will serve as the foundation for a comprehensive peace across the entire region, something which nobody thought was possible, certainly not in this day and age, maybe in many decades from now, but one founded on shared interests, mutual respect, and friendship. To our honored guests from Israel.
I will say that even if this is right, and Donald is to credit for this, that of course, while you would probably deny that the Palestinian genocide is currently or has is going on, many people deny this genocide or say that the Palestinians are all connected to Hamas and they all deserve to be killed, which is false. But that's beside the point. Yeah, obviously, well, Israel is America's second hand, right-hand man, or whatever you want to call them. And this only means, well, this isn't a shot against Donald, but it dissolves his credibility because Israel just shit on it. Of course, you guys say that you guys back Israel up. Meanwhile, you're basically suggesting in your post that Israel is the hindrance of the oil imports. That's what you're saying here. Or a war between Israel and other countries that can easily spread the effects of whatever that even means. The oil doesn't come from either Israel or Asia, so you essentially just ignored what I said, and you just pointed out all the countries that are at war between Israel and which affects oil prices and whatever. So basically, America's beloved Israel just shit on Donald's participation in this Abraham Accords, which again, it isn't a shot against Donald, but it means that Israel is the bad guy here. Dishonorable. So that is essentially a shot against America, though, because America is in favor of Israel. So, well, I'll continue anyway.
The United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, congratulations on this outstanding achievement. Congratulations. Fantastic. I also want to thank Vice President Mike Pence. Thank you, Mike. Great job.
Okay, this isn't getting it. Okay, this is gonna...
Treachery, so many things held them back. Actually lies that the Jews and Arabs were enemies and that Al-Aqsa Mosque was under attack. Constantly, they would say it was under attack. These lies passed down from generation to generation, fueled a vicious cycle of terror and violence that spread across the region and all over the world. These agreements prove that the nations of the region are breaking free from the failed approaches of the past. Today's signing sets history on a new course, and there will be other countries very, very soon that will follow these great leaders.
I'm waiting.
The people of the Middle East will no longer allow hatred of Israel to be fomented as an excuse for radicalism or extremism. So important.
What
And
does
they'll
that
no
have to
longer
do with
allow the
oil,
great destiny of their
kahuna?
region to be denied. On my first foreign trip as president, I had the honor of addressing the leaders of more than 54 Arab and Muslim nations in Saudi Arabia. My message that day was very simple. I urge the nations of the Middle East to set aside their differences, unite against the common enemy of civilization, and work together toward the noble aims of security and prosperity. I offered America's friendship, I offered America's help, but I said clearly that the nations of the regions had to decide what kind of a future they wanted for their children and for their families and for their nation itself. No one could make that choice for them. They had to do that themselves. Today, the world sees that they're choosing cooperation over conflict, friendship over enmity, prosperity over poverty, and hope over despair. They are choosing a future in which
Empty
Arabs and
words.
Israelis, Muslims, Jews, and Christians can live together, pray together, and dream together, side by side in harmony, community, and peace. Once again, let me congratulate the people of Israel, the people of the United
Sounds to me like Donald participated in this just to make himself look good, because none of these have stuck. Well, of course, I think even it doesn't even matter if it was he did this to depend on his second term, because that would only mean if it would all stop then after his second term. But of course, that's not his intent. He wants to rip the Constitution apart and abolish elections. He wants to become dictator. So you're not looking very good here, Kahuna. It's not looking very good for you here. I'll suffer this a little bit more here.
United Arab Emirates and the people of the Kingdom of Bahrain. God bless you all. This is an incredible day for the world. This is a really wonderful and beautiful occasion. I want to thank all of the members of Congress for being here.
Sounds like you
Senators,
made the oil
congressmen,
thing up.
congresswomen, we just appreciate it so much. Everybody wanted to be here. It's a very important day for the world. It's a very important day for peace. Before the party signed the accords, I'd like to ask Prime Minister Netanyahu to say a few words, followed by
He's
the
not
Foreign
mentioning
Minister of the
anything
United
about
Arab
oil
Emirates
here, Big Kahuna.
and the Foreign Minister of Bahrain. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you.
That was it? That was the speech. Where he doesn't mention anything about oil here, Big Kahuna. I doubt this asshole will. So I don't have to, that was all that is. Okay, this might help. It's a short video, so.
After decades of division and conflict, and respect for human dignity
Fuck,
and freedom.
hold on. This is ridiculous. Well, what's going on is that, not that anyone would give a fuck if anyone else does click on this video, but my computer is rejecting the Firefox updates, so I have to go to Google Chrome.
In Arab states, the first in more than a Department of State in London, and this is U.S. policy on the Abraham Accords explained. These two agreements normalize relations between these nations, establishing regional peace built upon shared interests, mutual respect, and friendship. 5 weeks later, the United States brokered yet a third peace agreement, this time between Israel and Sudan. Collectively known as the Abraham Accords, through these agreements, each country recognizes the importance of strengthening peace in the Middle East and around the world through mutual understanding and respect for human dignity and freedom. They also promote interfaith and intercultural dialogue in order to advance a culture of peace through cooperation. They acknowledge that the best way to address challenges is through cooperation and dialogue, and the importance of tolerance and respect for every person. And finally, they call for an end to radicalization and conflict by supporting science, art, medicine, and commerce to inspire humankind, maximize human potential, and bring nations closer together. Through the Abraham Accords, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Sudan are setting aside their differences and pursuing long-lasting peace in the region. They are now establishing embassies, exchanging ambassadors, and cooperating as partners on a variety of issues, including tourism, trade, healthcare, and security.
Nothing about oil in this. Now, what I will say is that obviously Israel shit on this. Well, now Hamas killed a bunch of, did a terrorism attack on the concert at October. And yes, I do blame Hamas for that. That's what it was said. But Israel completely shit on this by starting the Palestinian genocide, which a lot of you people either deny or you all claim that all the Palestinians in the Gaza or are connected to the Hamas or are members of Hamas, even unborn babies. So you guys, a lot of MAGA people actually stand by Israel and the IDF soldiers for the IDF monsters on that genocide. You want that to happen, and they approve of it, obviously. But I think I've looked enough into this and have drawn a sufficient conclusion that this is not about oil, and both you and Frank are completely, Frank didn't say it, but he credits Donald for it, in which I have to half agree with him on it, but Donald probably had an ulterior motive for doing so, for participating in this, while you're completely full of shit because you're the one that mentioned oil. So that's what I think happened. That's what the conclusion I've drawn from everything I've read and heard here. So the ball's in your court. So you go ahead and bullshit your way around this as much as you want, or whatever.